Hi boys and girls, it's Grandma Sue from Iowa Gymnast. Today I'd like to read you a story, but I'm going to do it a little bit different. I'm going to read you the page and then I will show you the picture because it's more like kind of like a chapter book. So maybe you have an older brother or sister that would like to listen to this story too. This one's called Mirror, Mirror on the Wall. Once upon a time, a very beautiful but cruel queen owned a magic mirror. Every time she looked into it, she asked the same thing. Magic mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all? The mirror always answered that she was the fairest in the land until one day it replied, famed is thy beauty, Majesty, but hold, a lovely maid I see. Alas, she is more fair than thee. And here's the picture of the magic mirror and the wicked queen. The vain queen knew at once that the mirror spoke of the Princess Snow White. The queen vowed that the princess must die. Using her evil magic, the queen transformed herself into an ugly old beggar woman. In her disguise, she went out to the forest where Snow White lived in hiding. Hanging on her arm was a basket of poisoned apples. Snow White was not alone in the forest. She lived in the cottage of the 7 dwarfs, Doc, Happy, Sleepy, Sneezy, Bashful, Grumpy, and Dopey. They loved her gentle goodness and vowed to protect her from the wicked queen. Each day, before they left to work in the diamond mine, they warned Snow White to be careful. See, here's Snow White with all of her little friends. Snow White knew that the queen wanted to harm her, but she had no idea that the beggar woman who came to the cottage was her enemy. She kindly invited her inside. Hello, dearie, croaked the old woman. Would you like to try one of my delicious apples? The forest birds and animals tried to warn Snow White, but it was too late. She took a bite of the apple and fell down in a deep sleep. Now I am the fairest in the land, shrieked the hag. That's the queen dressed up like an old lady, and she's giving Snow White the poison apple. The animals raced through the woods to the diamond mine. The dwarfs hurried back to their cottage and chased the wicked queen up a mountain. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning struck the rock where the queen stood, and she fell from the cliff, never to be seen again. The dwarfs promised that they would never again leave Snow White's side. They stood guard beside her throughout the night. Year after year, night after day, until one day a young prince rode up. The prince recognized Snow White as the young woman he had once loved. Gently he leaned over and kissed her. Snow White's eyes opened. The spell was broken at last. And guess what? They all lived happily ever after. And there they are, the prince and Snow White. Thanks, boys and girls.